I'll let you take it away.
Great, thanks. Well, before we dive in, do we have any public comment on items not on the agenda?
Yeah, actually. Just to not let a week go by without something related to our dear old passenger rail topic, we finally, after a good bit of haggling, have now nailed down a date for the first board of directors meeting of the Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority. And so that meeting will occur on January 5th between 2 and 3:30 p.m. And you can find out more details about how to connect to that at montanapassengerrailsummit.com.
That's fantastic. Great news. Well done again, Dave.
Yeah.
All right. In terms of action items, Anna Conley is our first presenter.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So as you guys know from our recent lecture series, the County Attorney's Office represents CFS, a division of DPHHS, in proceedings involving the removal or termination of children from a home or custody. And we get Title IV funds passed through from DPHHS to us for the services that we provide in those cases. But the ultimate reimbursement is around 40 to 45% of our actual costs. So to try to boost a little bit more reimbursement, we have this contract where they pay for one of our paralegals. And we've had this in place for about a decade, but they haven't really increased costs, even though our costs have increased. So we have a new contract to reimburse us for a paralegal, and we've gone up from $42,000 to $58,000. And so that's a full paralegal and fringe for us. That's in addition to the 44% that we get for everybody else. And the reason I'm bringing it back before you is usually we just do 1-year amendments that are really short and small, but every 7 years we have to do a full new contract. So all the terms and conditions are there, and we have an increased amount. So that's what I'm presenting.
And so,
I'm happy
Anna,
to answer any questions.
Yeah, how many years are we stuck with that new dollar amount for? And will we soon find ourselves looking in the rearview mirror thinking we're now not covering the costs of this paralegal?
Yeah.
It's a 1-year contract, and
good.
I will be advocating to get the actual amount with fringe every year moving forward.
Great.
Great. Okay, I would move that we really contract.
Second.
Yeah, and so before the all in favor saying aye, I just want to say I really appreciate that talk that we got from Jessica the other day. It was powerful and good stuff. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Anna.
Thanks.
All right, Jason Emery's up.
Good morning. So this is the employment contract for Jason Hauser, our facilities director. So we had hired him as a regular employee for kind of a 3-month probation, just to make sure everything went well. And so it's gone swimmingly, I will say.
Nice.
Yeah, Jason has brought a lot of really great expertise to the job. He's the first on the scene to deal with things. I've gotten really good feedback from the jail and the sheriff and other department heads, judges, things like that. So he's everything I'd hoped when I hired him, and then some for sure. So we're at the point now where as of January 5th, he'll be done with that. We'd like to get him into a contract. Everything you see in there is what we talked about several months ago. Bring him on as far as pay and contract length and that sort of thing. So I think that's kind of it.
Good job on the hiring, Jason.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I always like
It's a hard thing to do. It's really hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I've certainly done a lot of it over the years. I've interviewed 2,000 people and hired 400, in my management careers. And it's a difficult thing, and it's a chance that you take on somebody, bringing them in. You never really know, but this has worked out well, so I'm very happy.
That's great.
Well, I move the board approve the employment contract for Hauser.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Well
Thank
done.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, Sheriff McDermott.
You actually get me instead. The sheriff and I spoke just before this meeting. I was hoping to get final insurance documents from this contractor, and I have part of the documentation, but the contractor's working on getting the proof of liability coverage. So the sheriff and I agreed that we should move this to Tuesday's admin meeting.
Okay.
All right. We can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Dory.
Good morning. This is the just an amendment to the agreement that we have with Bonner Property Development, wherein Bonner Property Development contracts for the removal of the repository, and we basically reimburse them with tax increment funds from the district. And we had a timeline in there to get that completed by the end of the year, which is now moving into the first half of next year. So the only change is the time frame within which the project's to be completed.
Sounds pretty straightforward. I would move that we approve the amendment.
Thank you.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is our own Sarah Bell.
Good morning, commissioners. We have some more board appointments today. So these should go pretty quick. There's about 4 different boards. The first one up is the Animal Control Board. So Lynn Guntarek-Caberson's term is coming to an end on December 31st. So Lynn has served on the board since 2007 and has been continually reappointed beyond term limits because of her knowledge, expertise, and then also a lack of qualified candidates to serve on this board. So her position is what's needing either reappointed or filled. We did have one new application received from Justin Petite, I believe is how you say his name. So you can either reappoint Lynn to a new term or appoint Justin, or leave the board open to new applications if you feel like you need a better application pool to pull from.
I would be fine with reappointing Lynn.
Yeah, because of her expertise and dedication, and then I know the board and Dara appreciates her work. That's meaningful to me. So I guess I'm seconding you, Dave.
Okay, there we go.
For reappointing Lynn.
Great.
And then I guess in the future, I think more outreach for this would help. And I think the board's going to take that into consideration too, to have a deeper, broader pool.
I think that'd be great. There's been, I think, little outreach done in the past to create a bigger pool.
Yep. But I really appreciate, Lynn's dedication and her enthusiasm. So
Willingness to stick with that. Sure. All right. Should we vote on these one at a time?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Juan seconded. So all in favor?
Aye.
All right, great. Thanks.
Okay, the next is the Missoula Consolidated Planning Board. So these are actually just vacant terms that are currently vacant on the board that we need to fill. And so we advertised it along with the other end of year vacancies. And so we have a regular member seat that needs to be filled, and we have an alternate member that needs to be filled as well. And I don't think my RCA updated, but anyways, the applications are broken down by where the applicants live, which apply to the type of seat that we're trying to fill. So on the RCA that's published in the packet, you see Micah Sewell, Regan Whitworth, and Lee Martin for the regular member term. And then for the alternate member is James Bashand. And James was the one who qualified for the address specific to the alternate member term. So the motion, there's two motions before you to appoint a new regular member and then to appoint an alternate member.
So can I make a motion, or do I?
Sure.
Well, I'll just
Sure.
throw out an idea. I won't make on the motion. So I would like to see Micah Sewell have the regular spot and Jim Bashand have the alternate spot.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way. Also, I really appreciate Regan's knowledge, but he's also on the Missoula Development
He's on the
Advice
MDA
Authority
board,
Board. So I feel like then we're still able to make use of him and capture that. But
That's great point, Juan. And I'm really thrilled that Jim Bashand wants to be involved, given his depth of understanding of development and housing in our county. I think he'll be a great asset. And I was really impressed with Micah's doing his homework and having a clear understanding of what he was getting into. And I've known him as an advocate in other areas and he's a solid person.
Yeah, I concur.
so okay, I move to appoint Micah Sewell to the remainder of the vacant regular member term. And okay, I guess, do we do these one at a time?
We can take them as a package
Okay.
deal.
And then James Bouchard as the alternate member.
I'll second that.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so next is the Weed Control Board. So we had 3 terms come to an end, and we had 1 resignation as well. And with that, we had 1 new applicant. All 3 members with terms ending submitted their letters of interest to continue serving. They're all eligible to continue another term. Dennis Vandermeer resigned so that he could serve full-time on the AIS board that's being created. And then Andrew Skibo applied for this as well as the AIS board. He's interested in serving on both. And Bryce Christensen supports him being on both. He said he's well qualified to serve on both. So the motion today is the request to reappoint all 3 current members interested in new terms and to appoint Andrew Skibo to a new 3-year regular member term.
Okay, I would move exactly what you just said.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There we go. Thanks.
Thank you. And this is the last one. So we have the Historical Museum Board with 1 member term coming to an end, Mr. Jim McDonald. He has only served a partial term as alternate and then 1 full 3-year term, so he's eligible to be reappointed to 2 more terms. So we also had 2 new applications who are very well qualified, and Derek Galat and Leif Fredrickson. So you can either appoint a new member to fill the seat or reappoint Mr. McDonald. Matt Lotzenheiser supports the reappointment of Mr. McDonald as he has great historical reference and has only been on the board for 1 term.
Sarah, do we know if Matt was able to reach out to the other 2 applicants to encourage them to be part of the Friends group? They were both so impressive. I'd hate to lose them.
Right. I don't know if Matt has done that yet. We can include that in the appointment or the thank you letter that we send to them. And I can also ask Matt to make that second effort to reach out to them.
Can we make this thank you letter to them especially gushing? Because they were really, really great. And wonderful to have them involved in the betterment of Missoula County generally.
Yeah, and I think pointing out that I guess we haven't made the decision yet, but if we do reappoint Jim, that noting that it's a reappointment and that's I think folks will understand that.
Dave, I think that's super smart. We should lead with that so they don't wonder, well, why, if I'm so qualified, why didn't I get this? But leading with we reappointed, which is a pretty standard practice unless someone's done something horrible.
Now,
Okay.
having said all of that, and I'm supportive of reappointing Jim, if you were to look at the board composition, I think there is opportunity for adding greater diversity, be it gender or otherwise, to this particular board. So my hope is that we can begin to start addressing that in years to come.
Yep, I agree with what Josh and Dave just
Absolutely.
said. And yeah, and Derek and Leif were just fantastic, and I really enjoyed meeting them and hope we can keep them close because, yeah, really
Yeah.
excited they're part of the community.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, Dave, did you make it?
Yeah, I would move that we reappoint Jim McDonald.
Okay. Second, with a gushing letter, Sarah, and asking Latzenheiser to reach out to them to again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks a lot, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right, I bet Chris is going to take this next one.
I will, Commissioner. So this is a PHC employment contract. It's really just a small change in the number of hours that the employee is working. And so this is amending them to a 35-hour-a-week employee, but otherwise the terms and conditions of the contract remain in effect.
Great. Thanks.
I move to approve the amendment to the employment agreement between Winslow Lewis and physician assistant. I don't know what the C stands for.
Certified.
Certified.
Yes.
Thank you. And
It's just
PhD.
physician's assistant. So
Okay.
If it was not certified, I would
No
I
dice.
Yeah.
would get in the water. I'll second that.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let's keep those certified folks employed. All right. Thank you all. Now we're on to correspondence. We have a letter of support for the National Conservation Legacy Center.
Yeah, this is something that came to me from the executive director of the National Museum of Forest Service History. They've been in a decades-long attempt to seek funding and establish a permanent museum facility, and they're currently, their property's located out on West Broadway past the airport. So this is just a letter of support for some funding that they are seeking.
Great. All right. Good on them. Hopefully it will work.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like we're going to do it. Discussion items. We have any communications issues?
No, nothing from me today unless you guys need something.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any COVID-19 updates? Great. Just busting through this. All right. It looks to me like we're done then.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Good.
Thank you.